Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video, I'm going to be discussing what's happening with your flickering LG TV. As we can see here, the little screensaver type thing, that's a little LG cube. It's flickering on and off. If you guys have it connected to a movie, comes on, comes off, comes on, comes off, as we can see right here. Let me try to hopefully save you a lot of time. What's happening is the LED lights, and these TVs are all 1.5 years old, 2 years old, and the LED lights are burning out. It's a known problem, unfortunately. So what we have to do is the easiest way to do it, if you can find a shop that sells brand new ones, go that route. Can purchase pre-owned ones from eBay, but you never know how long those lights might potentially stay lit or burn out as well. Again, we're still getting flickering here. So the easiest thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna talk you through the easiest things to do. We're gonna go ahead and set it on the ground here. We're gonna take out every screw on the back panel, all around the edges and on the middle. You gotta look for every single screw, pry off the back. Make sure you don't crack the screen. If you crack the screen, you might as well throw it in the recycling bin. And then what we're gonna start with is we're gonna start looking over the capacitors in the power supply. Most likely, I'm guaranteeing this is bad LED lights that are part of the backlighting system, but we are gonna take it off. We're gonna look through a couple things and take you through the cheapest route, and we're gonna try to save the most money here. All right, if you do have a stand, you probably will have to take off the stand in order to get the back off as well. Just be careful, don't put too much pressure on the stand, and when you're unscrewing the stand, hold it up with one hand so you don't crack anything. Again, be careful. And then all the way around it, remove every single screw. There's going to be some screws in the very back over here by the main board unit. Check around here. Again, yours is probably going to be a little bit different than mine. Set them all over here on the side. These ones particularly are 2 different sizes, so make sure you put it back the way they need to go. My stands are off right there as well. And then majority of the time, these do lift off pretty easy, but sometimes there are little snappy pieces of plastic. So this particular one lifts up underneath the edge here. And so again, I'm gonna have to do this with 2 hands, gently lifting up and prying it off. All right, now with the back off, what we're gonna be doing is we are gonna be looking at the components. Yours might look a little bit different, more spread out. It might not. Again, this particular LG is very razor thin. Not much to it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna glance over and we're gonna look at any capacitors that might be raised up or popped out. And we're also gonna be looking for any burn marks around any of the items here to see if potentially it is a bad power supply. As we're looking over here, I don't see anything yet. Sometimes they are leaned over like that one, but that's okay. What we're looking for is we're looking for mushroom-topped capacitors, oozing capacitors, or around areas like this or this. We're gonna see burn mark, and it's like, obviously it looks like someone put out a cigarette right on it. I've had that problem before with some of my TVs that I have repaired. I don't see anything wrong with the power supply board, to be honest with you. Okay, so in that case, what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be unlatching every single prong, right? So here's a prong right here. I'm going to unlatch it. I'm going to tuck it back in. I'm going to unlatch all these ones, these ones, these ones, these ones. It might not be necessary, some of you more advanced technicians, but I am, again, going to be pulling them all out, putting them back in. And then carefully putting up the TV, plugging it back in. Again, don't touch any of the boards while it's powered on. You'll get electrocuted. And we're gonna turn it on, see if that helped it at all. If that does not help it, then we need to go even further, and we need to go ahead and get into the section where the backlights are to see if there's any backlights that are burnt. All right, that didn't work, so what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna have to get to the back of this panel here, which have our LED lights. If you've watched a lot of videos and you know what you're doing, you can use a backlight tester, but I'm not gonna assume you guys know or have that. I don't have one either. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna be needing to take off the plastic edges around the bezel to be able to pull up the back frame here. So I have screws all along down the side of my bezels in the front. We're gonna remove all those. Remember how everything is put back together again. Set it off to the appropriate areas. We might have to do a little bit of dismantling down here. I'll get to that when it comes. Okay, all the screws are around the bottom there. They're out, and I had to remove this. There were 2 screws latched on there, and that's our power button on the very bottom. Just make sure you don't flip-flop that away. You can disconnect that ribbon if you really want right there, put it out of the way. I just kind of have it set in there for right now because there was one more screw connected to the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and demantle the bezel from the back portion. All right, to fully detach the LCD, we're going to have to take off this here, undo every single ribbon below that connects the LCD to, I believe it's called the driver board or the board down below here. These again are very small. There's a couple of them here and right here. And then we're also going to have to go on this side as well here and over there on that side. We'll disconnect all the ribbons and remove the cover that is right here. There's a couple screws there. Detach the ribbon and then remove the screen backing out of the edges here. Do that on both sides, and then the screen will be able to detach from the television, and make sure you don't crack it in the meantime and put it out of the way. Now to fully get off the paper, we see some little things here. Go from the back side with some needle nose pliers, press in on that little tab, and then pop it out from the other side. Now you also have these little things right here. Easiest thing to do is if yours does have them, but what you want to do is you want to just lift up the tabs and then slide down in that direction there. I was able to do them all actually without pulling any of my boards off. Easiest thing to do, grab it from the bottom and slide it. It should come right out. All right, we're gonna take it a step further and we're gonna use a multimeter here to test my LED light connection to see what's going on, see if I need to replace just one or the other, see what's going bad. So actually, I'll lift it up here in a second here, but my top two strips are blinking, my bottom two are not. So after doing some research, I'm probably gonna replace the LED lights first, see if that fixes the problem. If that does not, then the simple solution, I won't have to take it all apart again. I will just do the power supply, but let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, you gotta be a little careful here. It is plugged in. I do have my multimeter. I have it grounded inside the slot to the chassis of the television here. I have it on DC, the V right there. And so on the power supply, you're gonna see 4 connection points here. There's 4 wires here. There's a LED plus, LED minus, LED plus, LED minus. This ribbon is what powers your LED lights right there. So what you want to do, again, you might have to creep down and kind of take a look at what you're poking into there. But again, we're going to poke into the LED plus, the top one. Just poke right into the back of it. Don't shove it in there and break your ribbon. But here we see 201, 214 kind of jumping around a little bit there. And it depends on how many strips your LED TV has. You might register higher for one, and then the other one you might register lower, as long as you're within 200, mid 200s, etc. for the other ones. Again, it depends on how many lights you have. All right, so that's testing pretty good. Again, those probably are the 2 set of lights, the 2 strips that are a lot better. Now we're gonna go down to second LED plus, which is 2 down from the top one. 1, 2, LED plus. Make sure you're poking it in the right slot. And as we can see here now, I'm only registering 86, 87, and the other one was registering 215 tops. Again, there's only 4 strips, so these 2 strips should be up there in the 200s. They're not. They're less than half, which tells me the LED strips are bad. Okay, now we're gonna go one step further as well. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug it. We're gonna let the power discharge there for about 10 seconds. Okay, it's been over 10 seconds. Now we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this cable here. All right, just tuck that underneath there. And then plug back in your TV. Plugging back in now. All right, so now we have power to it. Again, our negative is still in the chassis there. Okay, now what we're gonna do here, and you might get some crazy numbers that are thrown off a little bit, don't worry about that. But now we wanna come around to the front side, and we're gonna see those little prongs right there. We're gonna go ahead and test that prong right there. And we're coming over to 143. Okay, now we're up there. We're kind of bouncing around a little bit. All right, that's looking good to me. Now, let's go ahead and test the next one. Same exact thing we did for the ribbons, but now we're gonna go ahead and test the LED plus one on that side as well. Okay, this one's coming in at 132, 131. So it's coming in a little bit less. So potentially, it could have affected my portion of the board. I won't really know until I pop in the LED lights. So my testing concurs that I need to replace my LED lights. After I've done that, if it's still not working, if it's not functioning correctly, or if it is not as bright as it should be, going through settings and upping the light as much as possible, then I'm gonna go ahead and replace the board after that. This is totally gonna mess with the camera here, but I wanted to show you the inside here. So there's 4 lines, but there's 8 strips. So each strip is connected in the middle here. And after taking a closer look at it, it looks like they're all going, right? Because they're kind of flashing, but no, they're not. Unfortunately, the bottom 2, the whole entire lines are not flashing, just the top 2 are. So my guess is watching other YouTube videos, they're like Christmas bulbs, where there's probably 1 light down there. It doesn't show any signs of burning out, but probably 1 light. This is where an LED indicator light tester would work out. You would be able to determine which light is out, because as the bottom 2 are connected to and the top 2 are connected to, that's why those are blinking, because it's messing with the whole entire system here. With an LED light indicator tester, you'd be able to determine which light is out, and you might be able to just pop one of those lights off, or if you have a spare TV lying around, or you know what you're doing, solder a new one back on. Hopefully that helps you diagnose what's happening to your TV before you start dumping a lot of money into it. I will be making more videos about that once my parts do come in, but hopefully the video has helped you determine what you need to do. And make sure you look in the description box below. I'll have my multi-tester, some of the other tools that I used to take apart this TV and test it, etc. Look for those in the description box below. Smash that thumbs up button if it has helped you diagnose your issue and get back up and running. Stay tuned for the other videos. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Smash that subscribe button.